Wait, picture this. January 6th, 2026. A courtroom in Nashville, Tennessee. The air is probably, thick.
Mm-hmm.
But the main event happens in total silence. A gavel doesn't even bang. It's just a pen stroke. And an era ends.
19 years.
19 years. The Keith and Nicole empire is officially, legally done. But here's the twist. While that ink is drying, one half of this power couple isn't. Well, she isn't mourning in a dark room.
Not at all.
She's standing at the literal edge of the world, surrounded by ice, penguins, and this kind of quiet that, money can't buy. And she's declaring a wild new life.
It's just such a striking image. You've got the quiet, bureaucratic finality in a Tennessee courthouse, and at the same time, this vast, white, epic expanse of Antarctica. It just sets the stage perfectly for what we're looking at today.
It really does. Welcome to StarScope Report, where we get into the cinematic storytelling behind all the headlines. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Jamie. And today, we are absolutely on a mission.
We are. We're unpacking the just starkly different paths Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban have taken right after their divorce was finalized. We're talking everything from Antarctic expeditions to philosophical poetry.
It's a deep dive into how two massive stars dismantle a shared life and really rebuild their personal brands in real time.
So let's get into it. We have to start with what I'm calling the Antarctic mic drop.
Ah, I love that.
So January 21st, just a couple weeks after the papers are signed, Nicole Kidman drops this series of photos on Instagram. And she's not on a red carpet. There's no gown.
No, she's in like a red windbreaker and a big white puffer jacket, standing against these unbelievable glaciers.
The visual is incredible.
That pop of red against all that white and blue ice, it screams vitality. It doesn't scream, I'm heartbroken.
Exactly. And she's holding this little sign that says, living the dream one continent at a time. It turns out she just hit her 7th continent.
Wow.
But looking at these photos, I noticed something. This isn't your typical celebrity I'm finding myself trip.
Right. It's not a luxury spa in Switzerland with cucumber water.
No. She's in a hostile environment. I mean, why Antarctica? Why go to the coldest, most difficult place on Earth to celebrate your freedom?
Well, it's such a fascinating psychological choice, isn't it? If you think about the symbolism, Antarctica is the ultimate cleanse. It's sterile, it's untouched.
A clean slate.
A literal clean slate. In celebrity crisis management, you usually see what we call soft rebranding.
Okay.
Warm beaches, soft lighting, maybe a tearful interview about vulnerability. Nicole.
Yeah.
She went the complete opposite direction. This is hard rebranding.
Hard rebranding. I like that. It sounds intense.
It is. She is projecting resilience, not recovery. She's not asking for our sympathy. She's demanding our respect.
Yeah.
And by bringing her sister and her daughters, she's also doing something else. It's what some sociologists might call matriarchal fortification.
So she's not a woman left alone.
She's the leader of a new, adventurous, all-female tribe.
That's a huge distinction because this wasn't a solo, eat, pray, love moment.
Right.
It was a girl's trip. She's with her sister Antonia, who everyone says is your absolute rock, and her 2 daughters with Keith Sunday Rose, who's 17, and Faith Margaret, who's 15.
And that just reinforces the stability narrative. It says, the core family unit, me and my girls, is intact. We are thriving. It completely neutralizes any tabloid pity.
You can't really pity someone who's leading an expedition to the South Pole.
Exactly.
So, speaking of that tribe, let's talk about the legal stuff that had to happen first. Because you don't just wake up in Antarctica without some serious paperwork being filed.
Yeah.
The details from that Nashville courtroom are pretty fascinating. This was not a messy, drawn-out fight. It was fast.
Extremely fast. In Tennessee, there's a 90-day waiting period for divorces with kids, and they hit that mark almost to the day from when they first filed back in September 2025.
Okay, so I was looking at the court docs you sent over, and I had to double-check the math on the custody arrangement. Did I read this right? Nicole has the girls for 306 days a year.
You read that right, 306.
And Keith gets, 59? That seems incredibly unbalanced.
It does on paper.
I mean, 306 to 59 is not a split. It's a landslide. Is that even normal?
It's definitely an outlier for 2026. We're in this era of the 50-50 default, where courts and, frankly, PR teams push for equal time to show both parents are involved.
Right.
But here, I think we're just seeing pragmatism over optics.
What do you mean by pragmatism?
Well, think about their actual lives. Sunday and Faith are 17 and 15. They have school, they have friends, they have lives rooted in Nashville.
A home base?
A home base. And Keith is a touring musician. If you force a 50-50 split with the dad who's on a tour bus half the year, you're not punishing the dad, you're punishing the kids.
Yeah.
You're completely disrupting their stability.
Okay, that makes sense. So this lopsided number isn't Keith losing the kids.
Not necessarily. It's more like an admission of reality. It's admitting his lifestyle doesn't fit a school night schedule, but it still kind of puts him in that fun weekend dad role. Legally, it's about every other weekend plus some holidays.
And what about financially?
A total waiver of spousal and child support on both sides. They have huge independent wealth.
So they just walked away. They split that massive $282 million property portfolio. We saw them sell that Sydney apartment last year, which was probably the first sign things were really ending.
True clean break. But there's one detail in the parenting plan that I think is absolutely crucial for people to understand. It's what I'm calling the behavior clause.
Oh, this stood out to me too. It sounded very specific.
It is. Both of them are legally prohibited from speaking disparagingly about each other or their families in front of the girls.
So no trash talking at the dinner table.
Exactly. And more importantly, no trash talking in the press that might get back to the kids. It basically puts a legal gag order on bitterness.
Which is impressive because while Nicole's out there conquering continents, Keith is dealing with a very different kind of headline back home. And it involves a singer who is like literally half his age.
And this is where it gets messy.
We'll hold that thought because we are going to dive right into that. Coming up, the rumor mill goes into overdrive. We'll get into those headlines linking Keith Urban to a rising country star and the three-word response that completely shut it down. Plus, why Keith says he's done with playing notes. You are not going to want to miss this.
It's a masterclass in modern PR.
Okay, we're back.
Oh.
So while Nicole was, chilling with penguins, the tabloids were on fire. We saw these reports, I think it was the Daily Mail first, claiming that Keith Urban, at 58 years old, had not only moved on, but had moved in with the 26-year-old country singer, Karley Scott Collins.
And you have to remember, Karley Scott Collins isn't just some random name. She was the opening act for Keith's High and Alive tour in 2025.
Oh, right.
They even collaborated on a song called Right One. So there was this pre-existing professional connection that the tabloids just immediately latched onto.
The classic work spouse rumor, but turned up to 11. I mean, the headline was that they were living together.
It's an insane allegation.
Can you even imagine? The ink isn't dry on the divorce. And the story is that he's already shacked up with his opening act.
It just fits that very specific, very tired narrative, right? The older rock star and the younger muse. It's almost a cliche.
Totally. But what's interesting is the reaction, or, well, the lack of one from Keith's side, and the very loud one from hers.
Oh, she did not let this one slide.
Not for a second. On January 18th, she goes on Instagram stories, posts a screenshot of the headline itself, which is a bold move, and just writes, "Y'all, this is absolutely ridiculous and untrue," with a laughing emoji.
And that right there is textbook Gen Z crisis management.
How so?
In the old days, a publicist would issue some dry statement 3 days later. Today, you screenshot the rumor, you call it ridiculous, you laugh at it, and you kill the story in under 10 minutes. It's direct, it's immediate, it takes all the power away from the tabloid.
And then there's Keith. What did he have to say about all this?
Absolutely nothing.
Not a peep.
Total silence, and that contrast is really telling. His silence could be him just respecting that behavior clause we talked about.
Trying to stay out of the mud.
Right. Or it could be that he's letting Karley handle it because it's just so absurd it doesn't even dignify a response from him.
But silence can be so loud, can't it?
Incredibly loud. It creates a vacuum. But honestly, given his legal situation, silence was probably the smartest play. Anything he says just keeps the story alive.
And there's the whole family dynamic. We've seen some sources claiming the daughters are, quote, publicly supporting mom.
And that it feels a bit like 3 against 1, which, is a natural, if painful, part of divorce with teenagers. Emotional allegiances just happen.
For sure. Even with a legal doc that says no drama, it definitely complicates the whole amicable narrative.
It does.
If you're loving these Hollywood twists, make sure you're subscribed. We've got even crazier stories ahead. But don't go anywhere, because we're about to reveal the real reason Keith Urban has been so quiet. And it turns out he's not looking for a new girlfriend. He's looking for philosophical poetry.
This is where their paths just completely diverge.
Okay, so we've established Nicole is in what we can call expansion mode.
Big time.
Antarctica, huge trips, huge movies. But Keith seems to be in contraction mode.
That is the perfect way to put it. He gave his first post-divorce interview on January 2nd with Dan Huff, and the one word he kept coming back to, his whole mantra for 2026, was simplifying.
Right. And he gave this quote that, I'll be honest, I struggled with at first. He said, "I'd like to work on playing less notes."
Sounds like some, boring musician speak, right?
It really does. I read that and was like, okay, so fewer guitar solos, who cares?
Yeah.
But you think there's a coded message in there?
Oh, absolutely. Think about Keith Urban's brand for the last 20 years. It's all high energy, shredding solos, massive productions. He is a maximalist.
True. He's famous for that electric energy on stage.
So when a maximalist suddenly says, I want to have confidence that the one note I'm playing is enough, he's not talking about music theory. He's talking about his life. He's saying, I don't need all the chaos anymore to feel valuable.
So playing fewer notes is basically his way of saying, I'm tired of the rat race.
Or maybe I'm tired of performing. I mean, in a marriage, especially a high-profile one, you're constantly playing notes, managing schedules, emotions, the press. He's signaling a retreat into quiet. He even mentioned mindfulness, saying he wants to be aware that I'm aware.
That's pretty deep. That is a man doing some serious internal work. And he mentioned reading philosophical poetry, not rhyming poetry, he made sure to say, but the profound stuff.
Which is, let's be honest, the universal sign for I am going through a major life transition.
So true.
But it points to a need for meaning, for something solid to hold on to. Music is his job. Poetry is his escape.
And it is such a stark contrast because while he's doing that, Nicole is accelerating. I mean, her schedule for 2026 is completely stacked.
She is arguably busier than she's ever been.
She has Practical Magic 2 with Sandra Bullock coming out in September. That is going to be huge. She's filming Big Little Lies Season 3. She's doing Scarpetta with Jamie Lee Curtis, Lioness. Oh, and she's co-chairing the Met Gala with Beyoncé.
Work is her anchor. It's always been her sanctuary. By stacking her schedule this aggressively, she's reminding the world, and probably herself, that she is a powerhouse all on her own, separate from her marriage.
So on one side, we have the simplifier, reading poetry and trying to play fewer notes.
And on the other, the accelerator, flying to Antarctica and basically running Hollywood. And neither path is wrong. They're just coping mechanisms. Nicole's expansion is saying, I'm still whole, my world is big.
And Keith's contraction is saying,
I need to find my center. My world needs to be quiet for a minute.
it really is a tale of two divorces. We usually expect the War of the Roses, screaming matches, public fights. Instead, we got the Ice Queen conquering the world and the monks retreating into his studio.
And that brings us to the big takeaway, I think. We're conditioned by, magazines and movies to look for a winner in a breakup. We look at the photos of Nicole in Antarctica and we think, she won, she's thriving.
Because our culture equates being busy with being happy.
Exactly. But I want to leave everyone listening with this question. In the long run, who really wins a divorce? Is it the one who expands their world to the seventh continent? Or is it the one who contracts their world to find peace in a single quiet moment? Is the person running to the ends of the earth actually healing? Or is the person sitting in the silence, forcing themselves to feel it, the one doing the real work?
That is the question, isn't it? Is happiness in doing more, or is it in doing less? We'll let you decide who played this one right.
It's a journey, not a destination.
You've been listening to StarScope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.